Good morning. If you're doing background characters for your film or game project, they shouldn't be high poly. They just need to look like they are. This is a two-part video tutorial where we're focusing on crowd generation. In part 1, I'm going to take you through my Character Creator 5 workflow for reducing a 600,000 triangles digital human character into just 7,000 triangles, while keeping as much detail as possible and also generating an ID mask that we can later use in iClone for creating material variations, so it looks like it's more characters than it actually is. So let's dive right in. If you're doing a crowd, then I highly recommend changing the name of your character. I like to use this naming scheme, crowd_man_A for the first one, a level of detail 0. This means that this is the highest quality version. Let's quickly give him some clothes from the content browser, and I'm going to use the included Aaron clothes that he already wears. In CC5 you're using hair cards. However, I do recommend that we actually change this to grooms that doesn't have transparency. That means we will change to clay hair. You can have issues with the hair shader giving really odd results. So the first thing we're going to do is to remove all of the grooms that have transparency. That means the brows and the eyelashes. And if you're unable to delete all eyelashes from the scene manager, you can go into the edit mesh, switch over to the element tab and select the eyelashes as elements. Let's hit hide. And then just for safety, because these are still present, just move them into the head mesh here so they don't mess up anything for us later. And if we change back to face, we can now see that we have removed the eyelashes fully. Let's add some eyebrows that are just single piece meshes and the hair, which is the same. Now, I do agree that this looks rather silly. You just have to trust me on this one that it will look good in the end, even though he looks like a Ken doll or something right now. When we're doing the downscale later on, it will disregard the diffuse color and it will reset it back to white. So I suggest that you do this beforehand so you have full control of the hair color. If you want a specific hair color on your mesh, do change the texture instead of the diffuse color. So the diffuse should be white, and if you want like a brown color, then go into the base color and tweak the values so it becomes the color that you want. Let's also give him some beard again. Remember to do this as a skin texture instead of an actual hair card system. Let's bake this onto the diffuse color and exit out of the editor. Good. Now he has some stubbles again. Alright, so I want you to draw your attention to up here, where you can see that this mesh is almost 600,000 triangles. And this is great if you're doing close-ups, of course. For background crowd characters, you want this number to be as small as possible while maintaining as much detail as possible. And when your character is only 7,000 triangles, you lose the ability to change the expression on the face. So if you want the character to have a specific expression, make sure that you bake this into the actual design of the character. And then hit optimize and decimate. So we're going to decrease this from a LOD 0 first down to a actor build character. I want the hair to be part of the body mesh and hit OK. This is the step that takes the longest to process. So for me, it took roughly 10 minutes to do the conversion before this was completed. Alright, so we're finished with the first step, which is to downsample it to around 50,000 triangles. We did introduce some artifacts, such as the hair poking through the skin here, and also on the shirt back here. So make sure to spend some extra minutes fixing these issues. Now this step is an optional one, which I do prefer, but you can skip this if you don't want to do it. So in a photo editor, I'm going to add just a small fake eye reflection. And then I'm going to resave it and apply it to my character. I do this because I feel like without the texture, he looks more dead in the eyes. So this is something that I do because I think it looks better personally. Not that you have to do this. Next, we're going to create ID masks. And what these are basically a texture which we can use to separate out different body parts or different clothing items. So we can later change the color of them while they're all in one and the same texture. Jump over to your favorite photo editor software. In my case, it's Affinity Photo. So I'm going to start creating the different base colors. So I'm going to first create a red, and then a yellow. And the exact values doesn't really matter as long as they're different as possible. So I'm going to create all of the primary colors here. We have red, yellow, white, cyan, blue, pink, and green. So let's start assigning these colors to different parts. And personally, I like to start with any groom elements, such as the hair and eyebrows. So I'm going to select first the hair, and I always use the green one for any groom elements. Next, select all body parts and select the blue color. And then when you've done the body, I like to do it just from the top to bottom. So I'm going to start with the shoes, assigning them to the cyan, the trousers, then the shirt. And finally, let's select the eyes, the cornea materials, and assign the white color to the glow channel. Next, we can help CC5 even further by telling it which faces that we don't even want to include in our low poly character. Let's select all these faces and then just hide them. So it's time to address the hair issue. If we select the hair mesh and then turn down the strength of the opacity texture, you can see how the mesh really looks and how it will look when we downscale it to 7K. We will go into the edit mesh and then sculpt and then push in these edges into the head and kind of design it the way we want it to look when we've done the conversion. And I'm also going to do the same for the shirt, which has parts sticking out of it. So just go ahead and take a few minutes to clean up the mesh slightly. It's time to optimize to LOD 1, which is 7,000 triangles. Now this step is irreversible, so I do suggest that you save your character separately from the first save that you did if you need to go back and change something. That way you don't have to wait for the 10-minute conversion all over again. Let's hit optimize and decimate. And even though we're doing LOD 1, let's select custom because we're going to change the texture resolution. So from the template drop-down menu, let's select LOD 1 and just increase the texture size to 2K instead of 1K. Let's hit convert. So now we've optimized the character from 600,000 triangles to just 7,000. And as you can see, I forgot to change the diffuse color of the shirt, so it became white. That's why it's important to keep track of any diffuse color changes. But since we have our ID masks, it doesn't really matter because we can change our shirt color. Let's stack them on top of each other, and with the selection tool, select the eyes. Let's create a hue, saturation, lightness, and just bring down the eye whites quite a bit because the eye occlusion disappears. So in order to not have the eyes completely white, we need to bring them down slightly on the base color texture. Let's save this and replace our base color texture. I think that looks quite a lot better. Alright, so we're finished with our first crowd character. In part 2 of this video tutorial, we're gonna jump over to iClone, in which I show you how to create material variations using the ID masks that we just created. We can use these material variations in order to create a larger crowd with just one character, optimizing performance even further. As always, I hope you found the information in this video helpful, and if you have any questions, leave them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in part 2 of this video. So I'll see you there. Goodbye.